Once again, welcome, Rodney from the Backroom Bistro. And again, we want to welcome you to the 2017 Home Show. And again, I want to say thank you to Hannah and Preston over here who are going to be helping me out today from Cookville High School from the culinary program. And they are going to bring you around some of these samples. We've got the avocado, which is just a fresh avocado. And while they're doing that, I'll kind of go over what we do with that avocado. And yeah, you guys can go ahead and start passing those out. So the process that we've created today for the avocado is simply taking this avocado, cutting it in half, and then I break it open, and you see, the two halves. Easy to get a pit out if you just kind of get a knife into it, twist it. Be careful not to cut your hand off while you're doing it, right? And then you have the whole of the avocado. What I do from there is take it and slice it. I can slice it however I want. So when I'm cooking at the bistro, a lot of times we'll do real thin strips and then just scoop it out and feather it out. And this is how that comes out looking. So it's a real nice fan. It's a nice presentation. It looks good. It also goes nice and spreads nicely across the sandwich if you do it that way. So I've drizzled the balsamic over here on the plate as well. And that's what that looks like. So what we have done for your cups is cut them a little bit larger and then just almost like a cross cut and just into little cubes. So I do that. And then I'm going to come back and just scoop it right out. And you see it'll break into pieces just like I want it to. And that makes it kind of a nice little snack. So something a little different. And another suggestion for balsamic, and all I did with balsamic vinegar, you'll notice a difference. I'm going to send around a little cup of regular balsamic vinegar side by side with a balsamic reduction. The only difference in the balsamic reduction is I cooked it about medium to medium high, just off of the boil somewhere there, for maybe 15 minutes. Okay, what that does is intensifies the flavor of the balsamic. It takes some of the harshness out of it and brings a lot more sweetness to it as well. You might want to try this sometime on vanilla ice cream as well. It's a great compliment for vanilla ice cream. So I'll pass this around just so you can see the difference in viscosity. Wow, that was fun. Not going to go near that again. All right. Next time you guys get to take that. No doubt, right? All right, so we're passing those around just so you can see a little bit difference. It turns into like a sauce, which is pretty cool. So that's a little bit. We're calling today's segment Clean Eating. And so I just want you to understand that it's pretty simple to be able to eat clean and make it taste good too. And we're going to show you how chicken, what is chicken, right? Chicken is like the most common meat, right? And so we get bored with chicken sometimes, but it's kind of our go-to a lot of times, isn't it? So I'm going to show you kind of how you can eat clean and take that chicken and make it do some different things too. So what I've done ahead of time is I've roasted off some Brussels sprouts, and that's one of our specialties as a side at the Backroom Bistro. Roasted Brussels sprouts. Everybody really likes those. And then I've warmed up here in the oven the roasted sweet potatoes as well. As you can see, so we got Brussels sprouts, we got roasted sweet potatoes. We're going to use those kind of in a couple different ways. So what we're going to do is we are going to, remember that pan's hot and not burn my hand off. That's the first thing we're going to do. And then we're going to do a little bit of Latin flavor. So we're going to start with our chipotle lime sauce that we make in-house at the Backroom Bistro. Use it on our tacos on Taco Tuesday. We have chipotle lime fish or chicken tacos on Tuesdays, tilapia or chicken. So we're going to do a little rendition of that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with getting my pan hot, and then I'm going to add some chicken. And we're going to add the roasted potatoes, the sweet potatoes, and then the chipotle lime sauce will actually go in between the two. So that's kind of what we're going to do here. chickens up here. So we always have our roasted chickens available, and what we do at the bistro is we'll pan sear it first. We get our pan really hot, and we roast the chicken in the pan so it locks the moisture into it. And then, depending on what's going on and what ovens are in use or whatever's happened at the bistro at the day, we'll either finish it on top, just put some foil over the top or a lid, or we'll move it into the oven and put foil over it and let it finish in the oven. That's probably our most common process, is just to let it finish in the oven, but you can do it either way. We do it both ways at the bistro depending on what's going on. So I'll show you how that comes out. And we'll get some of these samples going again here in a minute for you. What do everybody think of the avocado? Is that good stuff? Is there a question?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where is the bistro?
The bistro is at 39 West Broad. We are directly across the street from Charter Communications on West Broad. So right across the crosswalk from Charter Communications. We are in the back room, and that's why we're called the Back Room Bistro. So you got to walk down the hall to find us. We're behind P. Dilly's Cupcakes. Yes, so have a cupcake and come and eat clean. That's right. This is what our chicken breast will come out looking like. So what we've done is we cooked it. We've added a little bit of organic chicken stock to take some of the remnants off the pan. We call that reduction. What that does is bring some of the flavors up into a juice, and we use that juice in different applications in the bistro. Today I'm going to use it back on the chicken and the sweet potatoes together. So I'm just cutting the chicken into little cubes. I'm going to pop it on the pan, and we'll get a couple of these going. One of the great things about what we do and what you can do at home as well is you know exactly what goes into this because you make it from the start. And we don't add anything other than we use our organic no-salt seasoning. Lanyard Spice, they're right down here today. They are a local spice company, and we use a lot of their seasonings. We use this all-purpose that goes into our chicken. It goes into lots of our dishes. John and Amanda are amazing people and have helped us for a long time with our spices. So I suggest checking them out. And then a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. So the only salt we use in-house is Himalayan sea salt. The great thing about it, it's got a lot of health benefits, a lot more minerals, and it also goes a lot further. You don't have to use as much. So the quality of it, the flavor is incredible. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our homemade chipotle sauce, and what I recommend is just get online maybe and play around with some sauces, some seasonings, and we'll also be starting to bottle some of our seasonings soon at the bistro. So you might find some of these available to you as well at the bistro. And all I'm doing is just mixing around that sauce as it's hot, so it's going to introduce that flavor. So I'm taking this chicken now and I'm making it kind of a Latin American dish. And we're going to use it a little bit later to make an Asian dish. So the great thing about this chicken is it's a base that you can utilize in a lot of different ways. Anybody have any other questions right now? I'm going to reintroduce a little bit of that juice off of the chicken that I talked about that we use. And that's going to bring even more of the flavors and juices off the pan here. And then we're going to come with the roasted sweet potatoes. We're going to add the roasted sweet potatoes. And you guys want to come on up and maybe start getting ready to help with some of these samples. So what we're going to do is bring these around for you, but that's how simple that is. That is roasted chipotle lime chicken and sweet potatoes. So you'll see those flavors coming out. This would be good with the avocado as well. Would give a nice balance with the avocado. So. All right. So they're going to be in just a little bit bringing some samples around for you. I think what I'll go ahead and do now is move towards our Brussels sprouts, and we'll do a little Asian thing here with the Brussels sprouts.
Hey Rodney.
Yeah.
How do you use the chipotle sauce?
The chipotle sauce is
Spicy?
it's a little bit spicy. It's got a little heat to it. So it's going to have a little bit of a kick to it. Not like crazy hot, but this is olive oil. This has the chipotle peppers chopped up in it. It has, I don't remember what else we put into it. So chipotles, the olive oil, some grated lime. It's got some lime juice, and then some salt and pepper. So it's a pretty simple sauce, but it comes together really nice. I think you'll like the little bit of heat that it gives. It's not too much heat, and so that's how that works. Yeah, good question. Thank you. All right. So we're going to, while you eat a little Latin, we're going to move on to some Asian here. And what we're going to do with the Asian is going to be somewhat similar. And that's the great thing about this is it's not that different, but then I think you'll notice a big difference in the flavors and the taste. So we're going to be using our Asian sauce. So we've created an Asian sauce for the Bistro. On Thursdays we have Asian chicken lettuce wraps, and this is the sauce that goes over there. It's a Thai sauce. And what I like to do is take a recipe and kind of play with it and tweak it a little bit. So something you can do at home. Just kind of that sounds like a good recipe. Try it out. See if you can turn it into something. So we're going to start with these Brussels sprouts as a base. And come back. So what I'm doing before, I did the chicken first, and now I'm going to start those Brussels sprouts. The difference between the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts kind of comes down to the science of cooking. So the Brussels sprouts are a little bit denser, so they can stand more heat for a longer period of time. If I had done the sweet potatoes first, it would have really broken them down to where they were way too soft and they didn't match the texture that I wanted. So, but I am able to put those Brussels sprouts in there and get them warmed up. And then we'll add this chicken next. And so this will be, and you can do this vegetarian too, if you wanted to create with, your Brussels sprouts. We're going to use a little bit of quinoa. Anybody know what quinoa is? What's quinoa? It's a grain. Yes, it is. It's an ancient grain, and it has every bit of protein that you need. It's the only grain that has all the protein that you need for your diet. It's good to add other things with it, but it does have extra protein. And I've been telling people, because it's easy to understand in the South, that quinoa is, as far as the taste, it's kind of like grits. It'll taste like whatever you put it with. So it'll take in the flavors. You got to work with it. You got to add something to it. Otherwise, it's not much on its own. But when you start adding it to things, then it really is nice. So I'm kind of browning the chicken now. Browning the chicken and the Brussels sprouts a little bit. I'm going to come back. Normally we do our Brussels sprouts with a little bit of balsamic vinegar. I'm going to go ahead and not do that because we're doing this with our Asian sauce anyway. So I'm going to let it brown just a little bit more, and then we're going to come back. And if you guys want to play up a few more cups, looks like we're getting a little bit light, but we can get a few more ready. So I'm going to add the quinoa right now to warm it up. And that's all I really need to do with the quinoa because it's already cooked. If you can have your quinoa cooked ahead of time. So I just set that in there, let it warm up. And now I'm going to come back across the whole thing with the Asian sauce. The great thing about our Asian sauce is it's real clean. And so minimal soy sauce. There is a little bit of soy sauce in there. It is, again, everything we do has an olive oil base. So it's a real clean sauce. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and you guys want to come on up and play a little bit more? Thanks, Amy. All right. We're going to be plating, this is our Asian dish for the day. This is quinoa. This is a chicken and Brussels sprouts over quinoa. So the quinoa is going to go on the bottom of the cup, and then a little bit of the Brussels and the chicken on top there. All right. So, any other questions as we're going? All right.
How did you cook the potatoes?
Sweet potatoes are roasted in the oven. So what we do is lay them flat on a pan, on a kind of like a cookie sheet pan, and then we'll drizzle olive oil back over the top of them, and our no salt seasoning. So the no salt, and then we'll add a little bit of the Himalayan sea salt. So I like to be picky about my salt, not put too much. Becky knows that, she laughs at me. In a good way, right? And so quality salt and not too much of it. And we have the same salt on the table, so I figure people can add more salt if they want to.
How long do you cook it?
You cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes on about 350 or so, somewhere in that range. Yeah, and then it'll come out. Now, what we'll do is we'll finish it in a pan at Bistro. So we might go ahead and do some of that here real quick. I'm just using a little bit of water right now to clean my pan. So if you have a stubborn pan and you need to get it clean, set it on the heat and throw a little water in it. It'll cook itself off. That way you don't have to scrub on it quite as much. And this juice actually with the water would be really nice over something. So, you know, if you don't have to waste it, don't waste it. I think a lot of people just leave the taste behind and spend too much scrubbing pans because the taste gets left on the pan and you can use it. So, all right. So we've roasted the sweet potatoes. And now we'll get our pan good and hot. I want my pan really hot because I don't want the potatoes to be in contact with the heat too long. Again, so they don't break down too much. I want them to get warm. I want them to get warm enough to eat and nothing beyond that. I don't want them to sit too long, especially since they've already been cooked in the oven. All right, so we should have this Asian dish coming around in just a minute for you. If you want to start on that one. Thanks, Hannah. All right, so we're heating up our pan. I have it on high because, like I said, I want the pan good and hot. So I'm gonna no oil. These won't need any oil. I'm using a non-stick pan. They should get a sizzle when I put them in, which I did a little bit. Usually prefer it a little bit hotter for the sake of time. Roll with it. My sweet potatoes are already warm anyway. I heated them in the oven, so they're already warm. And then I get this hot. I'm going to do a little bit of the Himalayan sea salt over the top. And then we're going to come back with straight balsamic vinegar. And so it's the same process for us with the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. The only difference is on our Brussels sprouts, most of the time, not always, we will roast our Brussels sprouts on our bacon pans. But what I do is I pour off all the bacon grease. So all the bacon grease goes away, and all that's left is the remnants of the bacon. So you still get bacon flavor, but you don't have as much fat. So that's kind of how we manage our Brussels sprouts, and we still get some good bacon flavor to it, but not smothering it in bacon fat. So I'm getting some browning on these for sure. So I'm coming back with balsamic vinegar. And what happens with this is it's like a caramelization. So we're getting a smoky, sweet flavor with the sweet potatoes this way. So that's kind of how we do the sweet potatoes. They get a little bit of char on the outside of them, and then that balsamic kind of rounds all that off. It's a real nice smoky, sweet flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this little pretty plate here. I brought some greens. These are local greens from Master Farm, Corey Masters, and we use a lot of his greens. This is a greens mix. So if you wanted to, I'd be happy to let's try some of this afterwards as well. If you want to come up, start with bed of greens. We'll add some of our sweet potatoes to it. Come back with some of the Brussels sprouts. And now I'm going to pick our chicken a little different cutting direction. So I'm going to go across the breast there, and then a little bit lengthwise, just for the look, just for a little presentation sake. That's what we do on our salads. Get it warmed up. So a lot of this could be done hot or cold too, depending on what the weather's like. If you want a salad, if you want to. So you can do root vegetables, hot or cold. Just experiment, try some different stuff out, see what works for you. So again, Backroom Bistro is at 39 West Broad. We are directly across from Charter Communications. You can find us online at thebackroomBistro.com. And I've got business cards up here too if you wanted to. All of our daily specials are online. We have catering lunch boxes to go. We have a dinner to go program as well. And then this next week, we'll be working with the Hospital Foundation for Restaurant Week, and with a bunch of different restaurants in our community. It's something that's really growing. It's exciting to see that happening. But we will be featuring our strawberry field salad, which always comes in the spring for us, as the strawberries come into season. And that's always a great one. In fact, Cindy was mentioning she likes that.
Love it.
And we are also going to be featuring our bacon guacamole cheese melts. We call it the BGC. So it's bacon guacamole and a couple different types of mixed cheeses that we melt together in sandwiches. So those will be our two options for the event. It is a $15 lunch plate and $5 gets donated to the Hospital Foundation, which does amazing things in our community. We will also have our dinner to go available as an option, and that will be a $25 option. $5 goes to the foundation as well. So I would highly recommend you get out and support some local restaurants and make a difference with the Hospital Foundation this next week too. So this is kind of what our plate, comes out looking like. What I could do as well is I could come back and make a little sauce for it. I could drizzle my balsamic sauce if I wanted that flavor. I could come back and I could make a little bit more of that chipotle sauce with just what's in the pan here and drizzle that back over the top. Or I could do that Asian style. So I've got lots of options now. I've got a plate with lots of interest, lots of protein, and I can come back and do a lot of different things with it. I'll probably go ahead and put another of these avocados over the top as well, just for fun. So now you got avocado, chicken, sweet potato, and Brussels sprout plate with local greens. A little bit of everything on there. Any other questions, anybody?
Get the Himalayan salt anywhere?
You can get the Himalayan salt a lot of different places. I would recommend that you're careful about where you get it, because some folks will label it as Himalayan and it's not. So, you know, you can do research online, you know, on what's true and what's not that way sometimes. But there, you know, a lot of the big box stores sometimes will label it as being such and it's not. So, you can. And I would recommend, one of my highest recommendations is on balsamic. Do your research, pay the price. If you get bad balsamic, you'll probably never ever want to have balsamic again. So, this is vitally important, the quality of your balsamic. Anything else, anybody? Another thing that we do is we try to utilize that no salt seasoning. So this particular is an organic. It has organic onion, organic garlic, organic carrot, black pepper, red bell pepper, tomato granules, orange peel, parsley, bay leaves, thyme, basil. So it's got a little bit of everything in it, so it gives you some really crazy great flavor. And that way you don't have to use as much salt because you get flavor in different ways. So that's always what we try to do as well at Bistro. So that'd be a recommendation. John with Lanyuk has a really awesome no salt seasoning. So I'd recommend that highly too. So you're welcome to come on up and try anything that's left over if you want. And to ask any questions, just want to thank you all for being here today. And I especially want to say thanks to Cindy Lee. You guys are awesome, man. This is a great little thing to work with back here. It's beautiful. I got my KitchenAid stove back here. What more could I want, right? So thanks y'all, and enjoy the rest of the home trip. Take care.